Trump criticized for calling Hezbollah very smart as he talked of potential risk to Israel. The former president also called Israel's defense minister a jerk. What I absolutely love about the story is ABC News doesn't actually give you the full picture. Trump did not just say Hezbollah was very smart. Trump said they attack me for saying things like this when I point out that, Hezbollah, they're smart. They know what they're doing. They're going to attack from the north. And then an Israeli defense minister said, I hope they don't attack us from the north because we're weak there. So then Hezbollah does because they're smart, right? They're attacking Trump over this now, trying to make it seem like he's anti-Israel or something like that.
Intelligence doesn't make you good or evil. You can be evil and intelligent. You can be good and intelligent. He said Xi Jinping's intelligent. He was right. The guy's not dumb. He's smart, not necessarily good. I mean, that's not a claim of good or evil.
Right.
So yes, people can be very smart. Right. It does not qualify their morals.
There was some celebrity that got canceled like a couple years ago, or maybe it was longer than a couple years ago, for saying that Hitler was smart.
He was.
Right. That's not even arguable.
I would consider him evil, but he was definitely had high intelligence.
Absolutely evil, right? I mean, to even reach the position of power, I mean, you got to give Trump intelligence points just for reaching the point of presidency alone, and then,
being a billionaire. But look at this. Michael Tracy nails it. He says, it's hilarious when Republicans try to attack one another for not standing with Israel hard enough. They all have the exact same position, so must desperately latch onto trivial turns of phrase like it means anything. Yeah, I'm sure Trump is a huge fan of Hezbollah.
It's also...
I want to play the clip. DeSantis War Room says, Trump praises Hezbollah, calling the Iran-backed terror group very smart hours after they attacked Israel. But actually, listen to this.
And then 2 nights ago, I read all of Biden's security people. Can you imagine? National defense people. And they said, gee, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack from the north because that's the most vulnerable spot. I said, wait a minute. Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. The press doesn't like when they say it. I said that President Xi of China, 1.4 billion people, he controls it with an iron fist. I said, he's a very smart man. They killed me the next day. I said he was smart. What am I going to say?
He knows.
But Hezbollah, they're very smart. And they have a national defense minister or somebody saying, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack us from the north. So the following morning they attacked.
Yeah.
They might not have been doing it, but if you listen to this jerk, you would attack from the north because he said that's our weak spot.
This is why Trump went. This is it. This is why the people who listen to Trump end up supporting him. Like Brandon Strzok's story where he was like, I'm going to debunk this narrative. Listened to Trump actually talk and went, and like had this transformation. Trump is roasting the media for insulting him for saying that Hezbollah and Xi Jinping are smart. It's crazy to me. That's plainly true.
Yeah,
no, they're really dumb. What?
Identifying your enemy's strengths is one of the first steps in defeating your enemy.
Yeah. The simpler explanation here is it's just very fine people and they're not sending their best all over again, right? The media is just taking advantage of the fact that a lot of the people who are watching it are going to read the headline and they're not going to actually listen to the clip through the whole way. And he does fall into that trap. He's been known to fall in that trap. But the people that are going to look at this and take that as an own already are looking to hate him.
Well, I'm wondering, I don't know much about the Hezbollah attack in the north. Did the Israelis set them up? Did they create an area of the north that they said was weak in order to draw Hezbollah in so that they could get them where they want them? And maybe Hezbollah's not as smart as he thinks they are. I know nothing about it. I'm wondering, because why would the Israeli defense minister announce their weakness out loud?
Well, I mean, we saw that even in the war on terror. We saw people openly saying this is the next troop movement and stuff like that. And people who were obviously watching CNN in Afghanistan were like, "Oh, okay, well now we know where to go. Now we know where to defend, etc." It's just like a huge operational misguiding, or not. What's the word? I'm trying to think of the word here.
Hubris.
Maybe not hubris, but just like it's like, why would you do that? It's just like it's a mistake, to say that, like, to literally tell people you're weak. They're probably going to watch your news media and figure it out. Someone's going to be watching, and that's the mistake they made. I don't know. I don't know if they actually goaded them into it though, like you're saying.
I know very little about the Hezbollah moves in the north, but if they've got Hezbollah out of position right now, that might not be a bad thing for them.
I mean, I will say I don't know much about that situation either. However, watching that, first of all, makes me appreciate how funny just the way he talks is. And I always know he's gaining more power and sort of like on his way back up when he starts getting more unhinged in his speech, because he's really funny and that you just can see it. But also in the time we're in right now with everything going on, that peacetime that we took for granted, or maybe not us, but a lot of people took for granted during his presidency, it's looking a lot sweeter to have again, hopefully. You know,
Yeah.
it makes me more pro-Trump than, I'm not going to say ever, but, you know.
It's gotten so bad under Joe Biden that people are begging for Trump back. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, first time I ever in my life have considered voting for Donald Trump was today.
Really?
It's because I don't see another war commander that we have running for president right now.
Right.
True.
Joe Rogan said something similar. If it's Biden or Trump, he would vote for Trump over Biden.
I would
Easy.
take Vivek. I just feel like what's his presence? I don't know. Is he actually challenging Donald Trump? But I mean, I trust Vivek face to face. I like where his head's at, where his spirit's at. But Don's got the experience of working in the White House for 4 years, and I feel we're in a very desperate situation.
Not just that, Donald Trump negotiated internationally for decades.
Yeah, and
this is what he was doing.
It goes back to my belief that we need the Russians as allies if we're going to hold the line.
And he has that, you know, going back to what I kind of said, that like slight unhinged thing, that's actually a very positive thing. Like we were kind of saying before we went on air, it's like, why wouldn't you want the world to be ever so slightly afraid of messing with our guy? I mean, that's just common sense.
When Trump said, there's that phone call that got released or whatever, where Trump is like, you know, I told Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping that if they invaded, I would nuke them. And he maybe he didn't believe me, but maybe 5% is good enough.
Yeah,
something like that.
That was.
But that's real. Yeah. Like, that's actually kind of how the world works.
If you invade Ukraine, we'll nuke you. It's like, is this guy for real?
It's
Right.
Speak softly and carry a big stick is Teddy Roosevelt. But the big stick isn't just the nuclear armaments that we have. It's the ability to utilize them.
Yep.
That's the big stick. Biden doesn't seem to have that. People aren't afraid of that guy.
No. And that 5% margin that you just said, it's like, that's enough. That's
Yeah.
enough to not want to do it.
She like calls Vladimir and he's like, I just got off the phone with Trump. And Vladimir's like, yeah, me too. And he's like, did he say he was going to nuke you? He did. Do you believe him? I don't know, man. Let's chill out.
Better to not risk it.
Yeah.
He's going to nuke you. That's crazy. That's funny.
Did he get on the phone a lot with Putin?
Well, I don't know to what extent like it actually was conveyed. I am quite worried at the idea of a U.S. president threatening to nuke another nation. But the general idea is peace through strength, right? There was no conflict. There were no new wars. In fact, wars were winding down and Trump was trying to get our troops out of the Middle East and working on peace agreements.
The proof is in the pudding. No matter how people want to portray his efficacy, it's like, we did just have one state of being, which was there wasn't anything like that's going down.
It would also be interesting, just like for people who might be more open to it now, who just either didn't care, didn't pay attention, but to look into like the negotiations between like him and other countries, or the Abraham Accords, to look at what happened, or maybe now they look at him going into North Korea with a new, in a new light because they're seeing just how volatile overseas relations actually are. That might actually play in his favor.
I'm concerned if a global war goes hot, which I mean, it's already heating up, but that remember World War I, the Bolshevik Revolution, immediately after the war, shortly after the war began, the communist revolution in Russia.
Yep.
So that would happen in the United States, that the pro-Palestine, all these marches and stuff, that there would be an armed uprising in the United States to take control of the country, to lead it to protect Palestine over Israel. And then I could see us having the internal struggle, not even being able to help Israel because we're dealing with our own crap. So I think if we can get ahead of it, prepare for it now and prevent it.
It's the other way around. The far left is being run over the coals for supporting terror.
I'm glad. The difference is they didn't have the internet in 2014 or 1914, so they didn't see it coming. But we see it coming. We see this crazy manipulative underdog always first strategy, and it's not working, and the government doesn't like it either. That's the benefit of it. Is the
Always first.
Yeah, it's like underdog. Always make the underdog win.
Oh, right.
Marxism.
You're right.
Yeah.
And then lie about who the underdog really is, right?
Yeah.
Yep, it's them when they're losing and need to win. Mm-hmm. It's their friends when their friends are losing and need to win. If they're winning, they're still the underdogs. They're still losing.
Mm-hmm. And there's
That's what
always
I love.
more work to be done.
There is.
as they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. But I see what you mean by that. But the thing about 1917 is that they literally left the war. They left the World War because they were fighting the war since the beginning, I think. And then they had a civil war from that. But yeah, I can see where you're drawing these like the analogy towards. But I don't know.
Also, with what's going on here, right? It's like a lot of this is college kids that are LARPing as revolutionaries, and it's not really the same thing. I really do believe in a lot of respects that things don't get as like things don't get worse until food starts rationing and people can't feed their families, and then you have a lot more to worry about.
The French thing is interesting. Did you see the revolts in France?
They were protesting Republic.
Yeah, and they were protesting pro-Palestine, and then the government said that's illegal, and then they started protesting that the government made their protest illegal, and then things are getting hot.
It's like an Uno reverse.
That happened within like 2 days. In
Dude,
France, food shortages.
Tomorrow is the global jihad day, and there's all these protests all over the world in support of Hamas. It's crazy.
What advice is just, if you're armed, stay safe, stay armed, stay in your house. Go out. Don't.
I don't live in a city. We were out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm good.
Like some people are like, just go about your business. Don't let terror stop you.
Everyone here is fine except for Blair. Blair's on a plane tomorrow.
Well, right. I love the day y'all booked me, but real question, half kidding, mostly serious. Am I crazy for kind of wanting to drive home?
No, stay another day.
Yeah, hang out.
Yeah.
We'll just move your flight.
I feel like I'll think about it.
I put a flight off tomorrow as well.
Because I don't want to feel like I'm being histrionic about something, but it's also like, it's the Friday the 13th. It's just crazy.
We'd love to have you. We'll extend your flight, and then tomorrow we play poker.
I'll think about it.
Don't travel on Friday the 13th jihad day.
Yeah, and the solar eclipse and that red heifer thing. Like, what?
Something happens, and they're like, "Look, you had all the warnings in the world." Like,
it's something about the red heifer that particularly is like, I don't know.
Regarding the red heifer, that's like the move for the extremist religious sect of the Israeli government that they want to bring about the third temple and instantiate the second coming. I'm concerned that if they try and force it through military, the first coming, right? Yeah. Like the Messiah will finally come for real.
But Christians Christians and Jews believe the same thing about the red heifer, don't they? It's just that for Christians, the second coming, and for Jews, it's the first coming.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not a religious scholar. I was just reading some articles about it.
Yeah,
isn't like if the Messiah comes, isn't that he doesn't just stay and chill and like live with us, right? That's the end of the world, right?
The Messiah leads an army and conquers the world and then brings world peace.
Right.
But is that Christian or is that Jewish?
I don't know. They don't say.
So within Judaism, the Messiah has not come yet. So it'll be the first coming, and I don't think in that worldview that it's the end of the world. Within Christendom, if the second coming occurs, then yes, it does mean the end of the world.
In Catholicism, particularly, it's different in different sects of Christianity too.
So I guess we'll see who's right. But
what is it in Mormonism? Because this would be the third coming.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It'd be the second or third. Yeah. Third coming. I guess you're right.
Yeah, because in I could be wrong, but Mormons believe that Jesus came 1,000 years later to the North America. Or something like that.
I don't know if it was 1,000 years later.
Was that his name?
Yeah, I don't know if it was 1,000 years later or when he was currently on Earth that he traveled across the ocean. I don't know.
My concern is that when realism kicks in, if you try and force this thing through military and execution, that it's gonna backfire. Like the Israelis think that they're gonna do some good by doing this. I have a fear that it's gonna backfire on them. So
that's
I hope
the real side of it.
I don't think it can be forced with military. I don't know. I hate to see, because it was in a book, that we're going to just kill all these people and force in front of the world with internet video. Like, you think you can accommodate war atrocities with internet video? It's not the right time for that.
Because if you really believe it's a prophecy and supposed to happen, it's going to happen whether you push it or not, right? So just chill. Please, everyone chill.
Yeah. She's like, I got a plane to catch tomorrow. Would you guys chill?
Honestly, I have a life to live.
You have like 20 songs I haven't recorded yet. I'm like, every time I go to play video games now, I'm like, I am wasting valuable time. Which is good.
Out.
What's that?
And you're running out.
I know. That's what it feels like. Like, I just spent the last 2 years playing video games at night, not worrying. Like, I can't wait for tomorrow. What the hell's tomorrow? Like, this is now. This is it. This is time. Time is not real. It is always right now. And it's like no time to wait. I mean, there's this. Create what you want to create right now. Now is the time.
Yeah. And there's been several incidents in the past few years that we should have just learned that and kept knowing that, right? But it comes into more clarity during times like this, where it's like half joking but half serious on a plane, and I'm kind of scared about it. It's like it comes into clearer view, that reality.
I was in a band called The Panic for a long time, and I didn't really want to be in the band, but it was falling apart. I was getting high beforehand. I wasn't practicing properly. And eventually they're like, all right, Ian, you're out of the band. And I was like, no. And then I gave it everything, and they're like, it's too late. And I was out of the band.
Was the band called Blind Melon?
It was called The Panic. Oh. Yes, it was Blind Melon, actually. Yes, I was the original.
Panic. Watch the music video for Blind Melon with No Rain.
Great song.
It's just like 4 Ians.
But the lesson I learned is...
No, it's for real.
That'd be a good band name.
I'm not kidding.
The lesson I learned is don't wait till the last minute to give it everything.
Yeah.
Give it everything right now.
Go hard now.
Yeah, true.
Bro, I swear, like, this video, It's just like Ian modeled his whole life off of these guys.
This has changed my life in
Not the
1991.
little girl in the bumblebee costume. Where's the guy at?
There.
Look at this guy.
Oh yeah.
Bro, that's him.
Spring in
Look at
California.
him. It's literally just like Ian wanted to be him.
Oh man, look at those.
Look at that.
sunglasses.
It's very Ian coded.
Yeah,
Good
that
song
guy.
though.
Yeah, good song.
So
Good track.
good.
We're trying to bring a little levity to your lives before the day of jihad, you know?
A little hippie justice.
I mean, I gotta be honest, I feel like nothing's gonna happen.
That's the point. It's terror. They want you to be afraid.
Exactly.
Right,
Yep, exactly.
right.
They want people to like lay low, not work.
Disrupt the economy.
Yep, disrupt the economy. But what do you do, man? Because there's crazy people who are like, even if you think that was their intention, some crazy person's gonna do something. It takes one crazy person.
I saw Jack Posobiec tweeted out a video of like a car doing donuts in the middle of the freeway in New York. Did you see that? I don't know if it was if it was related. I don't know if they were screaming Palestine or something, but it blocked traffic in New York. That was today.
I think part of it is like, it feels like lately the world is crazy every day. So for there to be a specific day where it's supposed to get
More crazy.
it's like, okay.
It's also the internet, though. It's just the access to all of the crazy things that happen are now at your fingertips and in your
Yeah.
pocket all the time. Back in the day, you would have had to watch maybe they include a couple stories like that at the end of the news if you watched the news when you were younger. Not everyone did. Now you're not getting it in the form of like some stuffy dude in a suit telling it to you. It's in your pocket and you're scrolling through it and you're algorithmically being programmed to see how crazy the world is every single day, and that's hard on anyone's brain.
And that violence, it's like, I was thinking about like the day everything kind of started. I was flying home from Vegas and I saw the imagery of like people just murdered in the streets. There was like I think it was the image of, the elderly people outside the bus stop and I cried in the car, and I was actually shocked that I cried. And then I was shocked that I was shocked about it, because I'm like, how is it shocking that I'm crying when I'm seeing this? Am I that desensitized that it's rare for me to cry when I see a scene like that? And that's society as a whole, It's like we are way too desensitized to seeing just things that you are not meant to see. And in the past, you would have had to go to like psychotherapy to cope with the fact that you saw it.
It's like
even an image.
hyper normalization.
Yeah.
I've kind of been keeping off looking at the videos. I'm wondering today, should I expose myself to some of these traumatic deaths?
I do.
You have been watching it?
Oh, I look at all the videos. I watch them all.
Man, I
Look at
saw
all
one
the
of a
pictures.
dog getting shot. Did you see that? That was tough.
I don't care to see that. I mean, oh my God.
I watch it all. My view is it's not for everybody, but do you know what the real world is?
Yeah, 'cause
or do you just live in the safety bubble of the United States?
I feel like I can't communicate properly with the people that have been exposed to it unless I expose myself to it.
Yeah.
And my view has always been since I was I remember there was a viral video of 3 dudes murdering a guy in Europe that was on like Live Leak and everything.
Oh yeah, that one.
And I was like, I'm gonna watch it because this evil exists.
Yep.
And I feel there's a lot of people are like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. And that to me kind of felt like, please let me stay under the covers. The monsters are outside.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, you're better off. Like this is, imagine this. Little kids hide under the covers because they're scared of a monster or something, right? Like that's the worst thing you can do because now you can't see the threat. And if there is a monster, it's coming for you. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.